7 hidden signs she's crazy about you. Number 2 is shocking. Old Stoic Wisdom. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting 2 bodies. Hi, Aristotle. Most men miss the signs. Attraction isn't loud, it's subtle. While you're waiting for obvious moves, she's already showing interest through small, almost invisible cues, body language, eye contact, and unconscious gestures. Right now, there could be a woman in your life, at work, at the gym, in your social circle, silently drawn to you. But if you don't know how to read the signs, you'll walk right past it. At Stoicismwin, this channel is dedicated to helping men tap into timeless wisdom and modern psychology to understand what truly drives attraction. After years of research, we've identified 7 powerful signs that reveal when a woman is deeply interested. And once you know them, you'll start to see them everywhere. These are not pickup tricks. They're rooted in biology, psychology, and Stoic clarity. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to master masculine awareness and inner strength. Drop decode in the comments if you're ready to finally see through the noise. Let's get started. Sign number 1, the copycat effect. Let's pull back the curtain on a powerful, often overlooked dynamic that's been influencing your relationships more than you realize: the phenomenon of subconscious mirroring, or what behavioral psychologists refer to as the copycat effect. This isn't about someone simply mimicking your drinking habits or posture to be polite. It runs far deeper, tapping into ancient survival instincts coded into our DNA. When a woman is truly drawn to you, beyond mere politeness or casual interest, her body begins to speak a language her mind doesn't even realize is being spoken. Mirroring is not just imitation, it's a silent emotional fingerprint of genuine attraction. Her subconscious begins to echo your micro-behaviors with startling precision. The cadence of your speech, the inflection of your voice, even your breathing rate. Yes, even your blinking patterns start to sync. Picture this. You're sitting with her at your favorite cafe. You lean in to make a point about something you're passionate about, and seconds later, she mirrors your movement. You scratch your chin absent-mindedly, and moments later, she brushes her hair behind her ear. This isn't random. This is chemistry written in body language. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts, and in moments of attraction, those thoughts spill over into visible, unconscious action. Science backs this up in a big way. Researchers at the University of California observed that individuals who feel deeply connected show up to 72% more mirroring behaviour than those in platonic interactions. Even more fascinating, the speed at which someone mirrors you is directly correlated to the depth of their interest. The quicker the response, the stronger the desire. And if you're wondering how to tell the difference between politeness and primal interest, there's a simple test. During the first 5 minutes of your interaction, observe her natural posture and default behaviour. Is she relaxed, upright, animated? Take mental notes. Then, in minutes 5 to 7, deliberately change your posture. Maybe cross your arms or lean far back. Wait. Does she shift in kind within 10 seconds? Then in minutes 7 to 10, throw in some subtle gestures. Rub your jaw, tap your fingers, touch your collar. Measure her response time. The golden signal? Immediate and precise mimicry. When her body aligns with yours like a shadow, it's not friendship, it's magnetism. What makes this even more compelling is how it opens a back door into deeper connection. While most men are looking for verbal confirmation of interest, wise men like you, know the truth is in the unspoken. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But perhaps we should have 2 eyes as well, to catch what isn't being said aloud." And here's a Stoic twist most dating coaches won't dare admit. You can turn the tables and build a connection even faster by you mirroring her. Sync your breathing subtly with hers. Adjust your tone to match hers. Nod when she nods. Not to manipulate, but to align. This mirroring builds rapport faster than a dozen compliments or witty one-liners ever could. It slips past her defenses, straight to her limbic brain, the seat of emotions and instincts. It's as if you're saying, "I understand you," without speaking at all. And if you notice delayed mirroring, her copying you 30 to 60 seconds later, that's not rejection. That's resistance, a mental tug of war where her conscious mind might be holding back, but her body is already surrendering to attraction. That kind of mirroring reveals internal conflict, the kind that suggests she's telling herself not to like you, but her biology refuses to cooperate. And that's when you know you're not just noticed, you're under her skin. Remember, words can lie, but bodies tell the truth. Social masks might say, "I'm just being friendly," but synchronized gestures scream, "I'm drawn to you," even if I don't want to admit it. So what should you do with this knowledge? Use it wisely. Observe. Mirror subtly. Understand her cues and respond with grace. Don't interrogate her emotions. Read them in the language her body speaks fluently, even when her words don't. As Seneca put it, fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. If her body is leading, follow. And if you want to deepen the bond, reflect her rhythms and let the connection build naturally. Now, here's where your voice matters. Have you ever experienced this kind of unspoken connection with someone? Have you noticed someone mirroring you and felt that gut sense of attraction without a single word confirming it? Or maybe you've tried mirroring and saw the results firsthand. Share your experiences in the comments. Your story might just help someone else recognize the signs hiding in plain sight. Let's turn this into a conversation, not just a revelation. Sign number 2, the forced jealousy trap. Most men are completely blind to it. They see it and walk right past it, misreading the clearest sign of deep female attraction as cold disinterest. It's called the forced jealousy trap, and it's been messing with men's minds for generations. You think she's pulling away? Acting distant? Cold? No, my friend. That's the moment she's most into you, but she's not going to say it. She's going to test it, because the feminine mind doesn't chase. It filters. This is evolutionary warfare. When a woman begins to catch real feelings, her ancient wiring kicks in, and her subconscious, not her words, begins whispering, "Can he handle pressure? Is he stable? Is he high value?" The test: manufactured jealousy. And it starts subtly. You'll be laughing together, vibing effortlessly, then boom, she casually drops a name. You and Sarah seem close. She glances away, her arms cross. Her tone shifts. Most men crumble here. They either over-explain, "No, she's just a friend," or get insecure. Fatal mistake. That's not rejection. That's the beginning of the primal probe. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is that moment. She's watching to see if your confidence is real or just performance. If you pass, you rise. If you fall, she walks. Let me break this down neurologically. When she creates jealousy tension and you stay cool, calm, amused, her brain flooded with dopamine, you become addicted. She associates your presence with emotional highs. That's not manipulation, it's biology. It's a survival instinct. Because women don't choose the nicest man, they choose the one who can lead himself, the one who doesn't flinch, the one who doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't beg, the one who smirks and says, "She's all right," instead of giving a TED talk defending himself, the one who watches her flirt with another man and casually says, "He seems cool," while holding an absolute frame. That's power. That's what triggers oxytocin. That's what flips the script from you chasing to her obsessing. Then it happens. She comes back, stronger, closer, touching your arm more, leaning in, laughing louder. Why? Because you didn't flinch. You passed her test. Her nervous system has confirmed. You're safe, you're rare, you're real. And here's the truth they don't teach you. The more she likes you, the more she'll test you. Withdrawals, sideways comments, proximity plays, it's all part of the dance. Don't get emotional, don't get reactive. Be the man who sees through the storm. He who angers you conquers you, said Elizabeth Kenny. So don't let a test shake your center. Instead, master the pattern, own the moment, respond with calm assertion and watch her attraction escalate beyond logic. Now that you understand this, start seeing it in real life. From the barista who drops her boyfriend's name mid-flirt, to the colleague who comments, "You and the intern talk a lot." These are signals, not shutdowns. Don't fall for the illusion. You're not being rejected, you're being assessed. And the man who gets this doesn't need to chase, because he becomes the prize. This is Michael from Stoic Focus, and if this hits you like a lightning bolt, here's what I need from you right now. First, smash that like button. Why? Because every like signals the algorithm that this is the content real men need to see. Help me spread this. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week I'm dropping the 5-second attraction trigger. This one hack flips the biological switch in a woman's brain on first contact, and once you learn it, you'll never walk into a room the same way again. But here's where I want your input. Drop a comment right now, just one word. If you've seen a woman mirror your body language, type mirroring. If you've been hit with these jealousy tests, write jealousy test. And if you want me to decode more hidden signals women send, type decode. Why? Because your comments help me build a real-time database of field examples, and I'll be reading them all. You might even be featured in the next video. Finally, share this with one man you know. Your brother, your friend, your coworker, someone still stuck, guessing, still reacting, still chasing. Show him this, and you might just save him years of confusion and wasted effort. Men don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from misreading the game. Remember, attraction isn't luck, it's science. And now that you've decoded this test, you're no longer guessing. You're observing, you're mastering, you're ascending. This is just the beginning. Stay sharp, stay stoic, and stay dangerous. Sign number 3, the willingness to vulnerability. One of the most subtle yet powerful signs that a woman is deeply into you, yes, even crazy about you, is her willingness to be vulnerable in your presence. And before you brush this off as soft sentiment, listen closely, because this is ancient wisdom wrapped in modern reality. When a woman allows herself to be emotionally open around you, sharing not just her joys but her doubts, fears, insecurities, and even her past wounds, it's not weakness. It's a rare form of strength, reserved for those she deeply trusts. Think about the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In this context, being that man means being the safe space where she feels free to lower the emotional armor she wears around the world. Vulnerability is not theatrics or drama. It's emotional intimacy, the kind that doesn't show up on Instagram stories or candlelit dinners, but in those quiet, unguarded moments when she tells you something she's never told anyone. She might talk about how she second-guesses herself at work, how her father's silence growing up left a scar, or how she fears aging and losing her sense of beauty. The average guy might hear this and panic or retreat, but a man of calm presence, especially one grounded in years of life experience, knows this is sacred ground. Her sharing is a signal flare, not a red flag. The shocking truth? Most men miss this because they've been taught that female vulnerability means emotional baggage. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a woman handing you her truth with trembling fingers, asking, "Can you hold this and not judge me?" When she does this, she's testing the water to see if she can go deeper, if you're the kind of man who listens to understand, not to fix. It's in these exchanges that true connection is born. As author Brené Brown once said, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. And make no mistake, it takes courage for her to be real with you in a world that tells women to always keep it together, to smile through the pain, and never be too much. If you find yourself witnessing a woman letting the cracks show, telling you how she really feels about her life, her dreams, her worries, her body, her failures, That's not her being crazy. That's her being real. And she doesn't get that real with just anyone. It means she sees something in you, a kind of emotional safety, the soft strength of a man who doesn't flinch at raw truth. This doesn't mean you need to fix her or even say the perfect thing in response. In fact, silence, presence, and empathy speak louder than advice. You just being there, really being there, is sometimes all it takes. So here's the life advice, especially for men who've lived long enough to know that surface-level charm fades fast. If a woman lets her walls down around you, honour that moment. Don't joke it away. Don't rush to reassure her with clichés, and don't mistake it for weakness. Instead, recognise it for what it is, a sign of emotional courage and a deep desire to connect with you beyond the usual small talk. She's not crazy for doing it. She's courageous. And if you've ever wanted to know whether a woman truly sees you as more than just another man in the crowd, this is the clue most people overlook. As the old proverb goes, the soul would have no rainbow if the eyes had no tears. Vulnerability is that rainbow. It comes after the storm, and only if she feels safe. So next time she opens up, ask yourself, are you just hearing her, or are you listening? And if you've experienced a moment like this, where a woman entrusted you with her truth, drop a comment below and share what you learned from it. Let's get real together. Comment to remember. Her truth is not a test. It's a gift. Handle it with strength, not fear. Sign number 4. The subtle attention to detail. One of the most telling yet easily overlooked signs that a woman is genuinely crazy about you isn't loud or dramatic. It's subtle, often invisible to anyone else, and lives in the fine details she remembers. You might not even notice it at first, but if you pause and think, you'll begin to see the pattern emerge. She pays close attention to what others would dismiss as trivial. Maybe you once casually mentioned your favourite brand of coffee while half distracted, or noted in passing that a certain flower sets off your allergies. Weeks later, without a reminder, she hands you that exact coffee or skillfully avoids those flowers when planning something thoughtful. This isn't just good memory, it's emotional investment at work. Her attention to these micro details is a powerful, quiet signal that she values who you are, deeply and personally. This kind of attentiveness goes far beyond remembering what you like to eat or the sports team you root for. It's in the way she notices when your voice sounds a little off, your energy is low, or your mind seems preoccupied. She might not say it directly, but she'll check in, ask how you're feeling, or subtly shift her tone to comfort you. She senses the emotional weather inside you before you've even opened your mouth. And when someone's tuned in like that, it's not just empathy, it's emotional resonance. She's aligned with you in a way that suggests her care is not surface level, it's foundational. She doesn't just want to be near you, she wants to understand what makes you tick. And that's rare in a world flooded with distractions and shallow connections. The Stoics, those ancient masters of calm and clarity, understood the weight of small actions. Epictetus once said, "Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all events as learning." And part of that wisdom lies in noticing what others miss. In relationships, this translates to the gestures that don't make grand statements, but speak deeply nonetheless. When a woman invests her energy in learning your subtle cues, she's practicing a form of stoic mindfulness, observing without needing to control, showing affection not through fireworks, but through steady warmth. This isn't love at first sight. It's love proven through 1,000 tiny moments. And here's where it becomes especially meaningful for men in the 35 to 70 age range, those who've been through enough to know the difference between infatuation and genuine care. At this stage of life, priorities shift. You've likely already experienced a range of relationships, some fleeting, others more lasting, and you've seen how quickly passion can burn out when it's not built on something real. That's why recognizing this form of quiet affection matters. It's not about flashy declarations or public displays. It's about the woman who instinctively knows how to soothe your stress with a certain word, who remembers that you sleep better with a fan on, or who always seems to text you right when you're having a tough day. These are not coincidences. They are signs of someone who is paying attention, not to impress, but because she genuinely wants to know you on every level. It might sound simple, almost too simple, but that's the beauty of it. We often complicate relationships by expecting them to look like movie scripts, when in reality, the strongest bonds are formed quietly. Picture an old stone bridge, nothing flashy, but built to last, every block placed with care. That's the kind of relationship a woman like this is building with you, one thoughtful act at a time. In our fast-paced modern world, where communication is often reduced to emojis and superficial updates, this kind of attention is both rare and deeply valuable. It's a breath of fresh air in a culture that often mistakes noise for connection. So what should you do if you notice this happening in your life? First, acknowledge it. Don't dismiss her attentiveness as just being nice. Understand that for many women, this form of care is intentional and vulnerable. It's her way of opening a door and hoping you'll walk through. Reciprocate by showing that you've noticed. Mention how thoughtful it was that she remembered that small detail. Reflect her effort in your own actions. Maybe it's you remembering how she takes her tea, or the fact that she hates being rushed on Sundays. Show that you're paying attention too, not because you're obligated to, but because you care. This kind of mutual awareness is the foundation of emotional intimacy, the real kind, not the kind you fake on social media. And finally, take this wisdom and apply it as a way of living. Don't just seek these signs, embody them. Like the Stoics taught, let your character show in your choices. Be the man who notices. Be the man who remembers. Because in the end, relationships that last are not built on grand gestures, but on the cumulative power of small, consistent acts of care. If you find a woman who's already doing this for you, don't take it for granted. She's not just crazy about you. She's investing in something real. And in a world that too often settles for surface-level affection, that kind of love is gold. Sign number 5. The consistent effort over time. The consistent effort over time, most men ignore it. Most men chase sparks, grand gestures, overnight miracles. But the truth, the ancient, cold, immovable truth, is this. In life and in love, what truly builds power, influence, and unshakable attraction is relentless consistency. Not flash, not flare, but force. The kind of force that shows up when you show up again and again, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's uncomfortable. A woman doesn't fall deeply, madly, secretly for the man who impresses her once. She falls for the man whose effort doesn't fade, the one who, over time, becomes a pillar, not a performer. Remember what Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity," but preparation is rooted in consistency. Think of water carving through stone. No drama, no explosion, just silent, unstoppable persistence until the rock yields. That's how you leave a mark. That's how you become unforgettable. Let me tell you something few will admit. Consistency is the most underrated aphrodisiac. While most guys send one text and expect fireworks, the man who takes time to learn her rhythm, to observe her silence, to understand the small things, he becomes her addiction. Because he doesn't chase, he builds. And women, real women, don't fall for words. They fall for patterns. Patterns that say, "I'm here." Patterns that scream, "I'm not temporary." But here's the twist. This isn't just about her. It's about you. Who you become when you commit to consistent action, when you train your mind, your body, your habits to reflect excellence. She notices when you get sharper. She senses when you carry purpose. Consistency is the most primal, masculine signal of dominance. Any man can open strong. Only a rare breed can sustain strength. And that, gentlemen, is the kind of energy that commands respect. Want to know why most men fail at love, fitness, business, or personal power? Because they confuse intensity with longevity. They go hard for a week, then vanish. That's not strength. That's emotional immaturity disguised as ambition. You must outlast the noise, outlast your own excuses, outlast the temptation to quit when no one's watching. In her eyes, it's not the big moment. It's the pattern of moments. It's the way you text her, "I'm thinking about you," even on your busiest day. It's the way you call, even when your schedule's jammed. It's the way you stay grounded when life throws chaos. That's the man who becomes her home. That's the man she dreams of long after the crowd's gone. Like the old samurai who didn't swing wildly, but struck once with precision, because every day before that strike, he trained with patience, sweat, and discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You become what you give your attention to." So let me ask you, where is your attention going? To quick dopamine or to long-term domination? Stop treating consistency like a chore. It is to your advantage. It is your secret weapon in a world full of one-hit wonders and digital distractions. While the other guy is swiping, ghosting, restarting, you're building. While others drift, you rise. While others fade, you remain. And that, right there, is what drives women mad with respect, loyalty, and yes, desire. Don't let the media fool you. The mystery isn't in being distant. The power is in being dependable. There's nothing more masculine than being the man who finishes what he starts, who delivers, who holds the line. And if you think this only matters in romance, you've already lost. This is your life. This is your legacy. So here's what you do now. Audit your life. Where have you started strong but finished weak? Where did you promise but not show up? Fix it. Start today. And stay with it. Burn this into your mind. A lion doesn't roar once and disappear. He keeps showing up, day after day, until the jungle knows his name. Be that lion. Build consistency into your DNA, into your training, into your conversations, into how you show up for your woman, your children, your mission. She sees it, she feels it, it creates safety, it builds obsession. Because when a woman senses that your presence is not a phase, but a foundation, she relaxes, she trusts, she chooses you, over and over again. This is how the Stoics lived. Unemotional, reliable, consistent in both hardship and pleasure. Don't seduce her with fireworks. Captivate her with the flame that never dies out. Let the world chase hype. You build a legacy, and that legacy starts with the consistent effort over time. Comment below. I don't disappear. I dominate. If this hits home, like, share, and subscribe, because you're not here for average advice. You're here to master life. Sign number 6, the playful tease. When a woman playfully teases you, most men brush it off as harmless banter or light humour. But if you look closer, you'll see it's often a powerful and subtle signal of interest. Teasing is more than just laughter. It's a carefully chosen test, one she might not even be fully aware she's giving. It's her way of evaluating your emotional strength, your self-assurance, and your ability to remain grounded in the face of challenge. When she says, "Oh, so you think you're funny?" After you've cracked a joke, not with a serious face, but with a twinkle in her eye and the hint of a smile, what she's really doing is probing. She wants to see if you're the kind of man who can handle gentle provocation without flinching, if your sense of self is so intact that a playful jab doesn't shake you. And this isn't about ego, it's about emotional stability. It's about the kind of resilience the Stoics championed thousands of years ago, a calmness that Marcus Aurelius captured when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." She's not looking to tear you down. She's trying to feel out whether you're the kind of man who can laugh with her, play along, and remain centered while doing it. In real life, this scenario plays out in conversations, at coffee shops, over texts, or during those flirty moments where words dance between sincerity and sarcasm. Men who aren't emotionally tuned in often misread this behavior and recoil, feeling embarrassed or challenged, responding with defensiveness or silence, and in doing so, they fail a test they never even realized they were taking. But if you can recognize the intent behind the teasing, you'll see it's less about the words and more about the energy behind them. It's a signal, a cue, a light tug to see how firmly you stand. Just as a tree's strength is shown not on a calm day but during strong winds, your emotional resilience is revealed not when things are smooth, but when your pride is gently poked. And this doesn't mean you should be arrogant or unbothered in a cold way. It means being able to laugh, to smile, to give a clever response without letting insecurity cloud your reaction. This is where attraction blooms, in the mutual recognition of emotional strength, of confidence without ego. Take the lesson from Epictetus, who wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In that moment of teasing, she's not just making fun, she's reaching out. She's saying, "Can you meet me here, in this space of playful challenge, and not take everything so seriously?" If you rise to that moment with light-hearted composure, you communicate far more than words could. You show her you're a man who knows himself, a man who doesn't get rattled, a man who welcomes a little dance of words without spiraling into self-doubt. This quality is magnetic, not because it's flashy, but because it's rare. It shows self-mastery, and in an unpredictable world, that kind of steady presence is deeply attractive. So if she teases you, smile, meet her energy, maybe respond with, "Only on weekends," or, "Well, I've got a fan club of one now, don't I?" The point isn't the perfection of your response, it's the attitude you carry with it. In today's dating world, where so much communication is masked in subtlety, it's easy to miss these cues. Men often expect grand declarations or obvious compliments, but real signs of affection, especially from women who are careful with their feelings, often come wrapped in teasing, sarcasm, and flirtatious challenges. This is why emotional literacy matters. It's not about having clever comebacks ready. It's about understanding what's really happening beneath the surface. Just as Seneca advised, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Her teasing is a friction point, and your reaction is your polishing moment. You either shine or you crack. And here's the advice. Practice staying calm in these moments. Practice smiling in the face of uncertainty. Practice meeting teasing not as an attack, but as an opportunity. Because once you do, you'll not only recognize hidden interest when it's shown, you'll know how to nurture it. So to all the men out there between 35 and 70, many of you wise, experienced, but perhaps a little out of practice in the subtle art of emotional reading, don't dismiss the tease. Don't take it at surface value. See it for what it often is, a disguised compliment, a disguised question, a disguised invitation. She's wondering, are you strong enough to stay playful with me? And your answer, ideally, should be a smile that says, absolutely. You don't need to be flashy, overly charming, or pretend to be someone you're not. Just be solid. Be grounded. Let the teasing wash over you like water over stone. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of a woman's teasing and wondered what it meant, now you know, it could have been the first chapter of a very interesting story you didn't even realize you were part of. Now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced this kind of teasing and missed the signal, or responded in a way that sparked a deeper connection? Share your story in the comments. Let other men learn from your wins or your missteps, because wisdom, after all, is meant to be shared. Sign number 7. The protective instinct. When a woman is genuinely crazy about you, one of the deepest, most primal ways it reveals itself is through her protective instinct. And no, this isn't just about guarding you from physical harm, but something much more nuanced, emotional, and surprisingly powerful. A woman who truly adores you will subtly begin to shield your emotional well-being, sometimes even more than her own. You'll notice she becomes deeply attuned to your moods, quick to defend you in conversations, even when you're not present, and deeply concerned about your stresses, your burdens, and even your silence. Like the ancient Stoic idea of sympatheia, which teaches that we're all interconnected parts of a larger whole. She sees your struggles as her own, and tries, sometimes quietly and without acknowledgement, to ease them. Consider this. If you've ever had a woman urge you to take care of your health, encourage you to chase after a long-forgotten dream, or shield you from unnecessary conflict, it wasn't just about being nice. Those were acts of love in action. As Epictetus said, people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. And her view of you is one where your peace becomes her priority. She may worry when you don't sleep enough, get visibly upset when others disrespect you, or even try to subtly guide you away from self-destructive habits without being preachy. This kind of protection is quiet, often invisible, but immensely telling. Many men, especially those who've been through the ringer in love, divorce, betrayal, or years of disconnection, tend to overlook or underestimate this behavior, dismissing it as nagging or over-involvement, when in reality, it's a whisper of deep emotional investment. In real life, think of the woman who gently reminds you of your doctor's appointment, the one who brings your coat when you've forgotten it, or the one who instinctively knows when to give you space and when to pull you in. Her efforts might not be flashy, but they are fiercely loyal, and in a world that often teaches men to go it alone, such devotion is gold. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts, and when her thoughts are consistently bent toward your well-being, that's no accident. It's a reflection of love at its most raw and honest. So if you're experiencing this, don't brush it off. Recognize it, honour it, return it. Because the woman who defends your peace, who protects your energy, who stands by you not only when you're strong, but especially when you're vulnerable, that woman isn't just interested, she's invested. She sees in you something worth guarding, and that's more meaningful than grand declarations or fleeting attraction. The best relationships aren't built on fireworks. They're built on the quiet, relentless acts of loyalty that accumulate over time. If you've ever had someone in your life show this kind of care, reflect on it now and consider what it meant. And if you're lucky enough to have that kind of woman today, let her know you see it. Let her know it matters. To love and be loved is to feel the sun from both sides, wrote David Viscott. And when she steps between you and life's cold winds, even if she never says the words, it's because you've become her sun. Don't take it for granted. Have you ever experienced this kind of protective love? Or maybe you've seen it in someone else's relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, and chances are, someone else out there needs to hear it too. Let me guide you through a powerful transformation in understanding attraction. This isn't about luck. It's about mastering the subconscious triggers women use to silently show their interest. In fact, once you understand these principles, you'll no longer be guessing, you'll be the exception. Now, you've just unlocked 2 potent attraction triggers, but don't stop here. This is only the beginning. If you want to dive deeper into the 7 remaining subconscious attraction triggers women use, do yourself a favour and subscribe right now. Why? Because those who understand these triggers don't just get by. They become the ones women are drawn to, without even trying. You want to be that guy, right? Here's what I need from you right now. First, hit that like button. And I mean, hit it hard. Every like you give sends a message to YouTube's algorithm. This is the content I want more of. The more engagement this video gets, the more men will begin to escape the cycle of confusion and start understanding female psychology at a profound level. You see, we're on a mission here to help men like you gain real insights into attraction. Second, if you want to keep learning and never miss another groundbreaking tip, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. What you've learned today is just the surface. Next week, I'm revealing something even more explosive, the 5-second attraction trigger. This psychological hack makes women instinctively drawn to you the moment you meet. You'll never approach a woman the same way again. But I need your commitment right now. Drop a comment below with one of these 3 words. Mirroring, if you've ever caught a woman mirroring your actions. Jealousy test, if you've noticed those withdrawal patterns women use to test your interest. Or decode, if you want me to break down even more hidden attraction signals. Why does this matter? Because your comment helps create a living, breathing case study, something that I can analyze and possibly feature in an upcoming video. This isn't just about passive viewing. It's about creating a community of men who understand attraction on a deeper level. The time for guessing is over. Embrace the wisdom, take action, and start seeing the results. Don't wait. Your understanding of female psychology is just getting started. Hey there, stoicismwin. Before you go, I want you to do something powerful. Share this video with one friend who needs to see it. Not just to help out the channel, though I appreciate it, but because every man deserves to understand these psychological truths. Think about how many relationships could be saved and how much frustration could be avoided if more men knew how to spot these signs. Remember, attraction isn't some magical mystery, it's science. And now, with these 2 signs, you're already ahead of 95% of men out there. But this is just the start. Stick around, because next time, we're diving even deeper into the female psyche. So for now, start observing, start applying, and most importantly, start seeing the results. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.